7, 9, 8, 4, 7, 2, 6, 9, 8, 2.
Warning, the Dubtalk podcast contains language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
8, 3, 7, 3, 6, 8, 6, 9, 8, 0.
Please be aware that this episode includes spoilers for Otherside Picnic, so be sure to finish the show before you listen.
7, 3, 6, 7, 7, 8, 7, 3, 6, 7.
Finally, the opinions expressed in this episode are those of the individual participants and may not reflect the Dubtalk podcast as a whole. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to another exciting episode of Dub Talk, where we bring you the latest and greatest in dub news and also answer all sorts of burning questions you have, like, what if Daphne and Velma went to a parallel world full of monsters? What would happen? Well, we'll find out on tonight's episode. Joining me on this episode, I have a bunch of lovely guests who are very kind to talk to me about this show, we have Steph.
Hello. I like spooky things. Do you like spooky things? I like spooky things.
It's true. We have Gigi.
Look, I brought some wine to this picnic and also like a really cute girl body pillow, and I'm sad to say, where is the picnic and where is the Yuri?
I can answer one of those questions in a little bit.
All right.
And we also have Patrick.
There's a concrete statue in my room, and every time I blink it moves. I'm unsettled.
Oh no!
I see giant eyeballs.
Oh lord.
Y'all may want to find a different place to record for the evening, I'm just gonna say.
Also, who are you?
I'm Amon. I'm hosting this episode because I'm a big weirdo who likes this stuff.
Yay!
And what are we talking about? Well, you probably figured that out already because you're listening to the episode and we list what show we're talking about in the title. But for some reason you just opened this audio file sight unseen. We are talking about Otherside Picnic, the anime adaptation of the hit light novel series about lesbians going to another parallel world full of Japanese urban legend and creepypasta monsters.
Not
Yay!
a picnic.
Not a picnic.
Not a picnic.
I was
Be so
promised a picnic.
Here's a question. Would you like to know why this is called that?
I would, actually, because there was no picnic.
The picnic's, I'm not even sure the picnic's a metaphor. Basically, in the 60s, there was a book published. It's a Soviet-era Russian sci-fi novel. It's called Roadside Picnic. And it's the nearest future. In the past, aliens came down to Earth. They didn't really do anything, no one saw them, but they left a bunch of crap behind, like how if, back in the old days, you would go on a picnic by the road, and because people are terrible, they just sort of leave their garbage. Because, this is before littering laws existed.
Okay.
And basically, the aliens did that, and they kind of fucked up physics and left a bunch of high-powered sciencey stuff that humans are desperate to get.
Huh.
Much like, for, the whole bit in this show where they're just sort of the invisible traps that'll blow you up, that's from that. That's a thing.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
That was before I was born.
Yes. It was adapted into a movie in the 70s under the title of Stalker, a movie I love very much. It's clear the guy who wrote this also likes that movie.
That was based on Roadside Picnic? Okay.
Yes. And to my understanding, the video game series is very nominally based on both of them, although not that much, I don't think. I've never played any of those games, so the connection's a little fuzzy to me.
Interesting.
This series, this whole, I can't call it a franchise, but, like, that book has had a really weird existence. Which led to this, which, according to my friend Gott, is basically also very influenced by some really obscure section of Toho, the, shoot 'em up games. It's wild.
Interesting.
Anyways, I would describe that in more detail, but frankly, I know it's fun watching Got talk about Toho. I don't really understand what's going on. There's way too much happening.
Like, I know a little bit about it, but then the more I think about it, the more I don't.
Exactly. It's like, there's bullets and cute girls. This is the extent of my understanding.
That's it. Done.
Pretty much. Yes, but that's why this is called Otherside Picnic, because a big nerd wanted to shout out another thing he liked. Anyways, what is Otherside Picnic about? Well, let me go pull up an actual description like I should have done 10 minutes ago and completely forgot to.
Guess what? It's not a picnic.
No, the picnic is a metaphor.
Gigi's just gonna be stuck on this.
Look, I wanted a baguette and some cheese and some cute girls kissing. I was promised some cute girls kissing.
You want something a little closer to the citrus end of the scale.
You know, I'm not mad about that.
Okay.
Instead, I got like Higurashi mixed with flip flappers, mixed with nothing.
This is not that much of a Higurashi, thank you.
There is one character who is 1000% Higurashi.
Which one?
The short-haired girl.
Akari?
I don't know, the ninja one.
That's Akari. That's Akari, yeah.
Kung Fu lady.
100% Higurashi. Fight me.
Well, she will fight you, that's true.
Exactly. Do you like that joke I made there for everyone who watched this show? Did anyone else watch this show besides us?
Yes, but like people who already like Yuri, as far as I can tell.
But
like
there's no Yuri in this.
There's the bit in episode 2 where she does like the wall press.
Oh, the Kabedon?
Yeah, and then aggressively grabs her chin, and sometimes that's all you need.
There's like
right.
the second to last arc.
All I know is for a while I was doing a thread where I talked about all the creepypasta shit, and I got a lot of retweets from Yuri fans who otherwise would not interact with me. So clearly someone else is watching.
Somebody's watching it, yeah.
Like, let's be real, there's the second to last arc of the show where there's like 2 characters repeating pet names to each other.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's close enough, right?
I mean, they're about as Yuri as I am.
Jesus.
Anyway, what is Otherside Picnic about? Well, as the handy plot summary in ANN tells us, Sarawo has been exploring the strange, dreamlike world she calls the Other Side ever since she stumbled upon it during her days as an urban explorer. But her most recent trip has gotten her into serious trouble. Then she meets Toriko, a strange young woman searching the other side for her missing friend. Toriko helps Sorowo out of her predicament, and Sorowo falls into helping Toriko in her mission. But each journey into the other side brings strange new dangers and skills, and Sorowo isn't sure that the search is worth it. Do you like cute girls and monsters? Great. You're gonna have a fun time.
There's also guns.
Also guns.
Yes, they indulge in the fine American tradition of getting drunk and shooting things on the beach.
And army men. There's army men.
Army men.
Oh god, in the Navy. I know it's not the right bridge,
That's,
but
well,
I know
actually,
it's not
you know
the right
what?
bridge,
That's
but
gonna
hey,
make
it can
sense, because
apply.
all the women are dead. YMCA, this bitch.
Alright. Where was I? Before we get to the cast, I do want to share, Andrew was very, very, very kindly found some people who found clips from an interview with the author of this light novel series. And I wanted to share some of them because I now love this man because he appears to have been born on the last panel of a Galaxy Brain meme. For example.
Oh god, okay. That's an apt
He has
description.
a lot of thoughts about what Yuri means, not as like tonally, contextually, thematically. My favorite of this is he talks about the movie Sicario, which is a Denis Villeneuve movie about the drug war on the Mexican border.
Oh yeah, I think I remember hearing
and
this. hearing.
He's talking about there are two big themes on the soundtrack, and one gives you this it says the sense of dread of two wild beasts glaring and pouncing at each other that represents the battle to the death between the illegal police force and the mafia, and the other theme was the melancholy of the border area. Two emotional themes. If you listen to the soundtrack with that in mind, you cannot perceive it as anything but Yuri, though the movie itself has no Yuri in it at all.
What?
That's kind of how I feel about this series, actually.
Oh, bless this soul.
This man, I appreciate this because this is the kind of pretentious introspection about what things mean that I enjoy doing.
Oh, I love it already. This is great.
I'll try remember to link this particular interview. He also has a bit where he's talking about like concepts in Yuri. What was it? One of them. You talk about the sentiment of like, let me, he being a male person, join these buddy girls is a phrase typically of a male viewpoint, and it will get you killed. Never listen to anything those kinds of people have to say. Weird men who like Yuri for the wrong reasons. Don't trust him.
Oh my god.
He also has the opinion he'll get people who are like, oh, it's just a phase. Saying this will also get you killed. Don't do it.
That's accurate.
Block these people. They are not worth your time.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Anyways, but let us... Who made this dub? This dub from Funimation? Well, I can tell you that, so let's get started.
Heck yeah.
As soon as my tablet opens. Well, on the crew side, we have our ADR director and our scriptwriter. ADR direction was done by Michelle Rojas, who has also directed such shows as Higurashi When They Cry, the new one. See, Higurashi's coming up already.
See?
Hortensia Saga and Kaguya-sama Love is War. And the script was done by Leah Clark and Madeline Morris, who've also written such shows. Leah Clark has written shows such as Chio School Road, Gleipnir, and Toilet Bound Hanako-kun.
Yay.
And Madeline Morris has written shows such as Assault Lily Bouquet, Mushoko Tensei, and Remain. We're going to change things up a little tonight. Rather than do everything in sections, because there's a pretty small cast in this particular episode, we're just going to read the whole cast out up front, a la as Noah tends to do in his retro episodes, and then we'll just talk about everybody.
Yeah, this is a very small cast, so
This is two leads, a couple people who show up in a couple episodes, and a bunch of one-offs. So, who's in this? Well, obviously we have our two leads, Soroo Kamikoshi, whose name I'm never gonna pronounce that right. It's really irritating me.
hey,
Sora.
Hey,
Soroo.
Sora and Woe.
We can call her by a different name, right?
No, I need to learn. I need to.
Glasses Coon.
No, I mean by her actress's name, but you know.
Oh, okay.
Well, if we're gonna give her a nickname, it's Velma. Like, let's be honest.
This is also true. Okay.
This is the Velma.
That bit in the opening where they're like running down the stairs and they do like a little leap over a
That
gap
is
in it.
100%
It's like,
a Scooby-Doo moment.
yeah, that's a Scooby Doo.
100%. That's great.
Let's be honest with ourselves. And the other lead is Toriko Niichan. Soroo is a quiet, bespectacled college student. Doesn't seem to have a lot of friends. Kind of lonely and sad for reasons we'll get into in a bit. And Toriko is this big blonde lady who apparently she's into searching out new things, and she's got a lot of personality, and her parents are in the military and taught her how to shoot guns.
She's Canadian.
But does she say sorry?
Unfortunately, no, but that don't bother me none.
I would have recognized if it would have been sorry. Because I watch a lot of Degrassi.
I haven't watched Degrassi in a hot minute.
Ooh,
Lord.
girl, you better start. The new remake's going to come on HBO Max.
Oh, shit.
There's a new remake?
Hell yeah.
Oh, boy.
Never ends. Never ends. What is it?
Time's
The
up.
Degrassi Next Generation?
I don't know.
These two are being played by Soroo is being played by Madeline Morris, who you know for such roles as Miyu Mashima in Assault Lily Bouquet, Kabane Kusaka in Kimono Jihen, and Misato Tachibana in Nichijou My Ordinary Life. And Toriko is being played by Emily Neves, who knows for such roles as Kaio Aiga in Kakushigoto, Eri in My Hero Academia, and Mihoshi Tachibana in Nichijou. Fun fact, she was also the script supervisor on this show.
Yeah, it's her and Jeremy Kratz, I believe, are the script supervisors for it.
Which, talented people, so good times.
I find it very funny because I think I distinctly remember when the dub for this was announced, both Maddie and Emily got so excited because for what it seemed like, or for all intents and purposes, they didn't know they were both writers on the show.
Oh.
And they're the leads. So I could be completely wrong on that assumption, and I might be forgetting incorrectly. That tends to happen. But they were just so excited at the fact, like, oh my god, you too! It was kind of adorable. That's how I remembered it.
That's cute. Now, those are our leads, but they are not isolated. They are not alone. They have friends, who we're going to talk about. First and foremost, we have Kozakura. Kozakura is a tiny little white-haired shut-in who buys weird shit that Toriko finds in the other side for interest reasons. She does not like leaving the house. She does not like going to the other side, which means she's going to have to go to the other side a few times.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's good.
And she is responsible for one of my favorite images in the entire show, which is her wielding a shotgun that is roughly twice the size she is.
Because Akira is so fucking cute. She's so tiny.
So angry.
Angry and tiny.
So
angry child.
So much rage.
Angry child who's probably older than both our leads.
That's likely.
It's likely, considering from my understanding, she knows Satsuki as well. So,
yeah. They also meet a pair of mechanics later. One is Akira Seto. She originally comes to them because ninja cats are hassling her, and she doesn't know what to do about it. But she does know that Sorowo deals with weird things or knows about weird things, so she comes to her for advice. Ninja cats.
Because ninja cats.
Also Soro gets real jealous of her because she thinks Toriko likes her. And that annoys her. Akira also has a friend who's he's a mechanic who is not into martial arts, named Natsumi Ichikawa. She's taller. She's very nice. And respectively, they are, Kozakura is played by Sarah Wiedenheft, who you know for such roles as Riri in Assault Lily Bouquet, Pigeon in Boogie Pop and Others, and Hina Tome in Kakushigoto. Akira is played by Amelie, you know for playing Kaoru in Kageki Shoujo, Ai Hayasaka in Kaguya-sama Love is War, and Junko Kono in Zombieland Saga Revenge. And Natsumi is being played by Michelle Rojas, you know for playing Ku in Assault Lily Bouquet, Boogie Pop in Boogie Pop and Others, and she plays Mion in Shion in the new Higurashi series.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's not all fun friends and women. There are men in this show too.
the occasional man in this.
They're not too important, and of the four we're about to talk about, two of them do not make it to the last episode, but they're
Hey,
there.
listen, I'm all for the men being rescued by ladies. Thank you very much.
That is fun.
Reverse the stereotype. Aw, yeah.
First off, we have a guy named Abarato. He is in the other side because he thinks his wife got spirited away there and he's on the hunt for her. He's probably right. It doesn't turn out very well for him, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't.
So sad. Nope. He meets a lady named Lady Hashuko, who's a 9-foot tall woman in a hat, and she disappears him, basically.
Resident Evil?
Yeah, Lady Hakusho is actually one of the inspirations for Lady Domitresk in Resident Evil Village.
Is
No
she
shit.
really?
She is, actually. I remember
I
reading something
said
on
that,
it.
and Chris was like, no, she's not. And I was like,
I remember reading and hear about it somewhere, but yeah, she is one of the inspirations, Lady Hakusho, for Domitresk.
As far as I know, like, Lady Hashiko is, like, a fairly well-known, like, urban legend creepypasta figure, so I completely believe that.
Yeah.
Essentially, like, the hat and everything, like, that totally makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
That was really loud. I peeked real hard there. Over the tall lady in fucking Resident Evil. This is my life, guys.
AKA, apparently everybody's mommy, because everybody wants Lady Domitresk.
Please step on me. Please continue.
Who better to step on you than someone who's like 3 times your size, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Things end up poorly for him. Things end up a little bit better for our next 3 characters because at
Well,
one point
2 out of the next 3.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Too soon.
R.I.P. Meatloaf.
Oh god.
Anyways, while they're in the other side, they end up running into, of all things, a whole-ass American Army battalion who were doing exercises in the mountains near Okinawa and went into the other side by accident and have been stuck there ever since.
Whoops.
They have the extremely ominous name of Pale Horse Battalion, which really, they're just asking for trouble with a name like that.
I mean...
Oh man.
I've read a book, I know what that means.
Oh Jesus.
Wait, Will Drake is the first one we meet. He's the head of a squad, basically.
Yeah.
He encounters the girls and is like, "Oh, you guys shouldn't be out here. You should come back to our place. It's marginally safer there."
Which it
Amon
was
says in a
until...
Until-
says in a slightly creepy tone.
Everything worked out. Everything was okay up until the monsters showed up.
Yes.
Including the one that used to be their stupid little, like, dog drone that turned into a big headless monster creature.
Oh boy.
There's also Ray Barker. He's as I said, he's the actual head of the group. You can tell because he has a mustache. As we all know, facial hair means authority in the army. Mm-hmm. He's trying his best to hold everything together. Unfortunately, there's also Sergeant Major Greg. Sergeant Major Greg doesn't trust them.
Of course.
Why are these women out wandering around here? What's their deal? He doesn't. Yeah, he does not trust them, and that unfortunately rears its ugly head when he realizes that they have been early on after the first episode. They've basically been marked by the other side in some capacity, and once he realizes this, he just kind of turns on them.
Well,
later we find out he like kind of.
If you're touched by the other side, that might make you a witch.
Oh lord.
Burn her.
Blasphemy.
Throw them in the river. See if they float.
If they float, they're a witch. We gotta kill them.
Later we come back and find out that he kind of went crazy and died, as so many of these guys have already done in the other side, because it's not meant for people.
Yeah.
It's not meant for humans.
No, it's not.
Will Drake is being played by Z. Charles Bolton in a rare vocal appearance.
Yes.
You know for playing such roles as Ryunosuke in Assassination Classroom, Sho Hinakawa in Psycho Pass, and Ryusuke Komoto in Wave Listen to Me. Ray Barker is being played by Chris Guerrero, who is the narrator in Double Decker, Doug and Krill, Who in Hells, and of course he is Ain's old gown in Overlord.
Yes.
And Sergeant Major Greg is being played by Billy Kometz, you know, for lots of things at this point. What some I liked, he's Shinae in 86, he's Risu in Dorohedoro, and he's Gallo in Promare.
Did you?
Oh.
I think you
No,
missed.
sorry, I have my thing out of order here. Abarato is being played by Christopher Wakehamp, who you'd also know for a bunch of things, including Kyoichiro in Boogie Pop and others, Momoki in ID Id Invaded, and Lieutenant Sakuma in Joker Game.
Yay! I thought for a second there was like, hold on, I think you missed Abarato, and you're like, I got it.
No, I reordered my list and forgot to move him to the top of that section.
Okay.
As I was saying, there are also a couple other credited people in here. Lady Hashiku is being played by Michelle Lee, and Caitlin Barr shows up playing a evil snake lady named Kankan Dara. However, they don't really have lines, they just kind of vocalize, so we're not going to talk about them too much, but they're here, and I think they're quite nice.
Yay.
Hey-ho.
So, friends, let us talk. How did we feel about this dub? Would someone like to go first?
I mean, it's very well put together. I'm wondering how much research the script writing team and Michelle Rojas did for the actual creepypastas that sort of make up the backbone of the story.
There had to have been some work done, honestly, especially because of the amount of creepypastas, and at the time the show was airing, the light novels, they were licensed and being released, correct?
I believe by the time the show is out, I think at least the first 4... J Novel is putting out the light novels in English. I believe at least the first 4 or 5 were available digitally.
Okay.
The print edition, I think by the time the show came out, only the first like 2 were available in print as like a little like 2-in-1 omnibus,
Gotcha.
but a bunch more of it was available digitally by that point.
And I think
Okay.
I think this is also one of those franchises where it's basically like the 12 episodes of this season covered like maybe a novel or 2.
Something like I did a little research into this, and it's like it's not quite like a novel straight through, but it is like it's about a book's worth of stuff. Plus, I think like a couple of the episodes were basically scenarios that were made up for the anime, as far as I can tell.
Gotcha.
Like the big-headed village one, I believe, is not something that's from any of the books as it stands. That's just that's another famous creepypasta they just threw in here.
Guys.
I like that
Yes.
trend.
Yes.
What's a creepypasta?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Sorry. A creepypasta is a term for what is basically just like short internet fiction that is usually posted to like image boards and Reddit and places like that.
And
Like-
usually they're
Like how
horror
King's
based.
Game was like done on a phone.
A little bit, although even more amateur than that. Like it's usually not published by anybody other than just like, I had a weird idea. I'm gonna post it to this place so people can read it.
I'm
Yeah,
possibly
if
gonna
you've-
do a slight deep cut. Gigi, have you ever heard of Slender Man before back in the day?
Nope.
Okay, that didn't help then.
All right, yeah,
Shit.
things like Slender Man, the SCP Foundation, geez,
Just a bunch of fun little short urban horror stories. Really.
Siren Head,
Nope.
I feel bad now. We are way outside of Gigi's frame of reference. I apologize. I feel bad. I
Salad
want to give you
fingers,
a
I
good
think
example.
Is this
Please
like
one.
on fan fiction? Something?
Or if not fan fiction, or at least like the ones that have like original fiction on them sometimes.
All right, whatever. I'll
Look.
take your word for it. You keep saying creepypasta, and I'm thinking about the penne
It's-
vodka pizza that Steph was talking about
Motherfucker,
earlier
I hate
when
you.
she didn't know that penne was pasta
No,
that would be
no,
on
no,
the
okay,
pizza.
Okay. No, you shut up. I know penne is a kind of pasta, alright? I didn't think there was gonna be penne pasta on the fucking pizza.
Penne
okay.
vodka pizza. Penne pasta and a vodka sauce on the pizza. Creepy pasta pizza.
bless you, Gigi, bless you.
Motherfucker, I hate you, but I love you.
Please continue with the discussion of the dub. I'm only here for occasional quips and
Okay,
stuff
yeah,
I didn't
basically a
understand.
A TLDR, it's basically like really short horror stories you can find on like Reddit nowadays.
Oh yeah, I don't
but-
go there. That hurts my
I
mental
don't.
health.
Did you watch Channel Zero at all?
No.
All right, never mind.
All right, just keep talking.
That was my last source.
I watched what is the pee pee poo poo man? Who's not the pee pee poo poo
Okay,
man? What is
that-
his real name? The bye bye man?
What?
Is that it? Is that one?
Okay, that
I don't even know what that fucking is.
that gives you
Alright,
a little bit
alright,
of a frame
Gigi.
of reference. I think like
Gigi?
another thing that's kind of close is like the Babadook.
Okay, gotcha.
Gigi, this is very funny to me because if memory serves, the pee pee poo poo man joke was started by a guy who's known for writing creepypastas.
See? Chris made me watch the pee pee poo poo man. I laughed through the whole thing, and then I got really sad because I found out it was directed by a guy who was on Survivor's Wife, who is now passed away.
Oh my
Oh.
But he was one of my favorite Survivor players. What up, Jonathan Penner, who will never listen to this podcast? Anyway,
All right.
I forgot
why did
what
they
I was
not?
gonna
Why did
say.
she not have a Canadian accent? Now that I know that the blonde girl is Canadian, first of all, her name's Toriko. So the whole time I thought she was gonna eat everything she shot. Why did she not talk in a Canadian accent?
I need to check, but I think either she is like half Japanese, half Canadian, or it's that she is Japanese, but her parents were stationed in Canada for a while.
The show does state that her mom was in Canadian Armed Forces.
So somebody's got a Canadian accent in that family.
So it could be that the mom is Canadian Armed Forces, is Canadian, dad is Japanese, and mom maybe was stationed in Japan. That's always a possibility. We don't have details.
Sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why don't I get some craft dinner with my analysis of the Otherside Picnic dub? I'm not talking shit, everyone who worked on this. I'm just making jokes. But now I want her to speak in a Canadian accent.
That'll be the alternate audio track on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, can I get different audio, maybe in a video commentary with just who voiced her?
Come on, Emily, you can do it. It's Emily Neves.
Emily Neves, you can definitely do a Canadian accent, just the whole thing. Sorry. Marco.
Just show up at a con. They don't bother me none.
Listen, if they let Howard Wang in Skate the Infinity have a little bit of...
He had a Canadian accent. We won't talk about that.
Let's have that alternate track. Let's go.
Now I'm mad.
Now I kind of remember. I kind of remember what I wanted to talk about because
just as a brief aside, since we were talking about like research for the like sort of source legends.
Yeah.
Having read the books, in the back of them, they usually do have a small listing of here is where this story comes from. Although from my experience, it's usually like the original Japanese version, not like a translation or anything like that.
That's helpful. And I mean, with going also on top of the research portion of this, this show, I think all 13 episodes dropped. It's not like a weekly simuldub. It's just one of those like full season drops. So there was a good chunk of time where they probably had the opportunity to look into more of the stories and urban legends that the light novels are based on. Also, as a fun side note, I'm gonna give props to Studio Nano because they're becoming a big deal like in the past couple of years now. Like they're slowly getting more and more work, and they're becoming a very reliable studio. So, because I believe this is Studio Nano.
Yeah, was this a Studio Nano dub, or is this like a Funimation with the people from Studio Nano working on it?
It's a Funimation dub, but I think it was outsourced to Studio Nano.
Okay, good on ya.
Because Michelle Rojas is part of Studio Nano.
Yeah, I know that.
So
I know that. I may not know what a creepypasta is, but I know my dubbing studios.
You're probably better off for that, frankly.
So what else can we talk about? Madeline Morris doesn't sound like any Madeline Morris I've ever heard.
When this came out, she mentioned this is like the first dub I've ever done where I got to use my actual natural speaking voice.
Is that what she really sounds like? Holy shit!
This is what she actually sounds like.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you've heard her in some of her boy characters too, like Kabane in fucking Kimono Jihen, or I haven't watched Mushoku Tensei.
Nope.
But it's kind of leans more towards that end of the tone too. But obviously, Sarao is not a guy or a boy, a little child. So it works out really nicely, honestly. I really liked it.
She like it was sort of nice learning that, just because like that must be like acting is acting, but it must be weird when like 90% of the time you're called up to do a different voice.
Yeah.
Especially when, there are plenty of actors I can point to where they are often called off to do what is more or less how they sound out in public. I thought she did a really good job.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by Maddie on this. Made me very happy.
Yeah, I was confused. But not like confused in a bad way, just confused in an interesting way because I'm so used to her other voice. It's like Big Girl Monica.
Yeah.
Which I
takes
love.
A minute, yeah. Also, just to make sure I am correct on this, Otherside Picnic is a Studio Nano.
Yes.
Perfect.
It was recorded at Studio Nano, so.
Perfect.
Just so I'm not talking out of my ass in like too badly, which half the time I am. So.
I was very confused, but I'm all right with it. It's just see, here comes my bias, where I had no idea what the fuck was happening in this show the entire time, and I was like, "Is this like Hell Girl?" No, it's not interesting like Hell Girl. I was like, is this like the movie Urban Legend? I was like, no, there's nobody in a bathtub like getting their kidneys stolen.
I kind of had Jesus. I kind of had a similar problem with the show itself, actually, trying to figure out what it wanted to do with itself.
It's not the dub. It was just like
it's 100% the show.
And I really just I wanted more Yuri in it, so I was like waiting for the dub to like put a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge in there. And it did towards the end. But, like, in the beginning, I was just kind of like, what is this? Like, where do we categorize ourselves here? Because when I signed on for this episode, literally thought it was girls going on a picnic. Because I judge things by the title.
See, my thing is, like, with the story of the show itself, I also had a little bit of a hard time trying to, like, not necessarily follow what was going on, but, like, seeing what it wanted to do with itself. Like, did it want to be, like, an episodic, kind of, do episodic storytelling like Hellgirl, for instance, or Mushishi? Did it want to have a consistent plot? Which it has a little bit, but that's not even freaking resolved by the end of it anyway.
Where's the black-haired girl? Who is she? Is she real? Is she the weirdo girl at the end with the teeth? Where did she go? Why did I spend this whole series looking for the black-haired girl? And then I thought that maybe Glasses-kun was actually the black-haired girl in, like, the other dimension. And that was, like, teased, and then it never got resolved.
It's one of those things where it's like, you would need to have a season 2 on this.
I don't want a season 2 on this. I will just, like, in my mind, it's episodic, like Hellgirl.
Yeah.
And it's done. And I'm all right to move on to the next Yuri bait.
If a sequel doesn't happen, then this is what we're going to be kind of stuck with, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because I do like some of the concepts and stuff that the series has. It's just that it didn't quite know what to do with its story. Like, if it wanted to have a through plot line, and it seemed like it wanted to, but it didn't really execute it very well. And then the episodic stuff, it was fine. It was nice, but because you still have that hint of, like, oh, we're looking for Satsuki. Oh, there might be a hint of Satsuki, and then you still don't have it. Like, kind of left me lukewarm story-wise. That's the fault of the show, not the dub.
I mean, it is the fault of the show, but, like, if you're adapting it for an English audience, unless you're being totally watched 1000% by the Japanese company who made it, there should be some kind of coherence. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there like me going, what the fuck is this? Like, that's literally, true. What the fuck is this? And where is the kissing?
I didn't watch the Japanese, so I don't know if this is a close or one-to-one translation or it's looser. Maybe Amon knows, considering it sounds like you watched the Japanese.
I did. It's a little looser, but it's not, like, they don't go too far afield of what's happening in the Japanese for the most part.
Okay.
Usually you get things like they call the big monster from the first episode Kune Kune, which is its Japanese term. But of course, Kune Kune is just the onomatopoeia for wiggling, which is why they call it a wiggle waggle.
The wiggle waggle.
The wiggle.
Wiggle waggle.
It's just weird. But, like, here's the other thing that I'm kind of, like, on the fence with. The tone of this anime is so weird. And so I was kind of expecting the tone of the dub to go a little more weird, but minus one character, like, everyone sounded completely natural to me. Like, they're like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out on the other side with a big giant gun. Guess I better shoot something. Oh yeah, I'm Glasses-kun over here. Oh, let me blush because the blonde girl complimented me. That's the only Yuri I'm going to get out of this, but it's fine. But it just, like, I didn't get the level of weirdness out of the characters. I got the
level of weirdness more out of the urban legends themselves. Because some of them are kind of more absurd, and they do take the moments to, like, point out how really weird and absurd it is.
I think part of it is I have not read enough of the novels to say, but I think a thing that I want to say might come up is that Sorowo and Toriko are kind of fucked up.
They are.
They actually are. Like, one of the moments I actually liked a lot about Madeline's performance is when Soroho, like, casually tells her backstory of, like, oh yeah, the rest of my family, like, joined a cult.
Yeah.
And they're dead now because the whole
Yeah.
cult died in a fire in the mountains.
I forgot about that.
And she just kind of says it like, oh, that happened. Like, who among us has not had their whole family wiped out because they joined a cult, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and I think there's a point in there that, like, Soro has not really dealt with a really horrible foundational trauma. And that's why she's like this.
Yeah, Soro is a very odd woman.
Yeah.
And she knows it.
Yeah, and Toriko, partially because she brings up, like, my family trained me, she actually reminds me of there's a very nice horror movie from about 10 years ago called You're Next, which is about, like, a house invasion.
Oh, I like that movie.
Yeah, and the female lead in that, basically when they kind of realize what's happening, she starts, like, setting up traps, and one of them's like, how did you learn how to do this? And she just looks him in the eye and kind of smiles like, oh, my parents are survivalists.
Let me just drop that knowledge bomb on you.
And she just moves right on, and it's like, and like Toriko's sort of military preparedness has that kind of vibe of like, you probably lived a weird life that you haven't quite grappled with how weird it is yet, haven't you?
See, that's like the tonal shift is just so odd for me, but this whole thing is odd. Like, I can't tell if it's like a really good shift because this whole thing is weird. Like, what is the other thing that I watched where I have no idea what the fuck is happening? Just a bunch of shit happens and it's all fucking weird and like the tone is so strange. Oh, Pink Flamingos by John Waters.
Oh, God.
I don't even know what that is, but I just like the laugh right there.
Don't. I won't tell you the whole story of the first time I watched Pink Flamingos with John Waters, but it was a trauma I will never forget.
Steph, do you want to see a movie starring the actress that inspired Ursula from The Little Mermaid?
Oh boy.
Do you want to see her eat dog shit?
Are we talking figuratively or
no, like actual
literally.
dog shit.
Literally.
Divine picked up a piece of dog shit and ate it on camera.
What? The fuck?
Divine does not fuck around.
John Waters does not fuck around.
No.
Nope.
You think he's all fun and games with Hairspray and Zac Efron? No.
Oh, no.
Say, I do know Hairspray, so this is okay. All right, we're just gonna let that go.
I would say educate
weird.
yourself, but
You're just like, it's not worth it.
It's like when you're watching El Topo and you're like, I don't know who I am anymore. Nobody's gonna
Gigi,
get these references, but maybe Amon and like possibly Patrick.
you're naming a bunch of formative films of my fucked up youth.
Okay, perfect. Then that makes me feel better about myself.
I feel like we're unwittingly describing what sort of person would get a kick out of this show.
But well, okay, no, I don't like those movies, so maybe that's why I didn't like them.
That's what, like,
There we go.
I haven't actually seen Pink Flamingos, but like, I love El Topo. That's very much my speed. Not a lot of other people's, because you've seen El Topo. You know what it's like.
I had to stop watching it about 25 minutes in. I couldn't take it anymore.
You know what? Good call. It wasn't getting any more fun from
I
there.
watched a
Like, you made the right
documentary
choice.
about it, and I was like, I really want to watch this. Then I watched it for 25 minutes, and I was like, I'm out. Which is kind of like how I felt with this show.
Oh my god. Can I just say, going back to this show, the
Please.
whole weirdness and how Gigi feels about it, at least it's a little self-aware. Because Kozakura is just like, why the fuck are you even okay with this?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Sarah Wiedenhef's character is like, the fuck is wrong with you two?
Again, this was a weird tone for Sarah Wiedenhef too that I wasn't used to. So
Really?
yeah, I didn't hear her at all in this because I'm used to her in Tada Never Falls in Love.
Oh, true. Like, I would say it's just a slight, like, maybe, like, not an octave down. What's the musical term I'm using here? It's like one level down, just a touch, but also, like, Kozakura is just fucking hates everything.
She's so angry.
She's so angry.
Like, Sarah probably gives one of my favorite performances just because she's so mad that she has to deal with this stupid bullshit and can't just stay at home like she wants to.
And then there's fucking Toriko and Samao who, in a drunken stupor one night, decide, let's buy an A1 farming machine.
Yeah, what the
and
fuck
ship
was
it
that
to
about?
Kazakana. For funsies, she got so pissed.
Why?
I
Why?
don't know, because I thought it was a good idea at the time when they were drunk.
What?
A stupid thing I enjoy about this show is this kind of goes a little into the territory of, like, you know, the cute girls doing things show, but I appreciate that it's like, no, these people are, like, in college and adults.
Yeah.
I wish.
And capable of just doing really dumb shit
Yep.
because they have the money and power to.
I wish I
Yeah.
could have seen them get drunk and buy farm equipment, because, like, I would have been all about that anime. Just show me the girls getting drunk. Like, the anime where all the girls do is get drunk.
That'd
It's
be a
on High
fun-ass
Dive.
time. Oh.
No one is surprised. Where does all the garbage go? High Dive.
Bless you, Heidi.
I love High Dive.
Bless you.
Fucking
High
love
Dive.
them.
Bless you. But no, like, it at least has a little bit of, like, awareness of our two leads being really, really fucked up. Because you have Kazakara, basically, who's like, seriously? You're really going back there? Are you stupid?
But she's the one who's paying them to do it.
Right. I mean, she benefits from it, sure, but at the same time, it's like, are you fucking, like, the fact that they're so calm about it half the time, it's just like, the fuck is wrong with you? You're going into a really scary ass place. Are you kidding me? And then freaking Sadao actually in the beginning was very hesitant on going back too, actually. I remember her being a bit hesitant when Toriko is just trying to keep dragging her back in. So she kind of has that, but over time it's just like, I'm here now. I'll go. It's fine.
But in the beginning, Sorowo was kind of like, what if I just stop breathing here on the other side? Like, what will
Right.
happen to me in the real world? And so,
Right.
like, I went into this anime thinking, oh, okay, so they're going to fall in love and it's going to be great. And she's going to, like, want to live her life again and everything will be sunshine and roses. And instead, I'm treated to creepy ghosts in elevators and a giant eyeball.
I feel like that is probably the end goal, but I think there are at least like 6 or 7 volumes of this out already, so
No, I'm
like,
good.
we're not there.
Gigi's like, I quit.
I feel like part of your enjoyment of this show is probably also going to hinge on like do you enjoy this kind of horror fiction in the first place?
Yeah, that's true. Like, is this your
Like,
kind of speed? Yeah.
I'm like, are you the kind of person where when you're like, oh, we're at Station February, and they get there and like, this isn't Station February, this is Kitsuragi Station, and you're like, yeah, because you know what that is.
I don't know what that is, so I was very confused.
Are you familiar with that urban legend that's like someone's getting a harassing phone call while babysitting, and it turns out the call's going from inside the house? This is like in terms of like Japanese urban legends, this is like that tier of like everyone knows what that is.
Okay, so what is it?
Basically, like I think it's a woman is like posting to some image board that like, I was taking the train home and it stopped at a station that I don't know where I am. And it's like this mystery station that doesn't exist. And she like gets off and is like harassed, and like weird people like harass her. And I don't know if it actually establishes she ever like leaves. It's just like she stops posting.
That makes way more sense now.
Yeah.
I think maybe like part of my disassociating myself from this was that I literally I don't get any of these references. And you know me, I love me a good reference. I
yeah.
get them. Look
I
at that
did,
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers trailer. I was like, that's MC Scat Cat. Holy shit, Paula Abdul's in the DJ booth.
I did, because you sent us the list ahead of time, and there was that link to,
Kawabana.
Thank you, Kawabana. And they do have, I did look at it, and they have, like, the brief mentions of what these stories are, and they go through the episodes of the show, and kind of briefly, really briefly explain, like, the urban legends and the creepypastas involved in it. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm like, this is weird shit. The weirdest, most random thing though is the ninja cats.
Okay, but that was the best part of the show.
That was the best part of the show.
Can anyone disagree that the
so
Ninja Cats
silly.
episode and the episode after it with the teeth were like the best parts of the show?
Oh,
Those are
100%.
great.
They were amazing.
Can anyone disagree with me that Amelie is the best performance in this dub?
I will disagree with you. However, she is up there.
Like, I'll disagree. That does not mean she's not great.
Exactly.
Like, she's delightful.
Amelie is a delight.
Patrick.
Let's talk about
Patrick! She's like, Patrick.
Yeah, what do you think's the best performance?
Honestly, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Chris Guerrero. Honestly,
Ooh.
All right, tell
That's a
us
good
about
pick.
it.
like I like the leads, but it's honestly like he is the guy who's trying to keep a bunch of like military people who are supposed to be like ready in a second, calm, cool, collected. They're all losing their shit. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, they lost their like rover dog, and it turned into some monster with corpses hanging off of it.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty.
And they're getting harassed by some sort of monster train. And like left and right, they're going nuts and just kind of dropping dead. And this guy is just trying to keep everybody calm enough to get the fuck out of there as soon as they can. Like it's something I can appreciate with it. And actually, the military base arcs, like those were kind of my favorite of the series, because it actually kind of set up a coherent narrative that passed through the season.
Yes, I can agree
Right.
with that. It had a really good, like, through narrative or, like, actual arc.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the sort of the Monster of the Week episodes. Those were, in terms of like horror shows like this, you know, like Garo the Animation, and like I tend to like the sort of one-off. You get a little bit of character development, but in general, like, things are mostly static.
Yeah.
But then it's those kind of 2 or 3 episode arcs that they stick in seasons where, you know, there are actual stakes. Where you actually feel like people who are not the main characters are in legitimate danger.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know the main characters are going to have plot armor. So...
It's very true.
They're not gonna kill the cute blonde lady.
yeah.
It's very true.
It's a fact.
And if they did, people would rage.
I mean, if they did, like, that would be kind of a game changer moment in the show, but
Right.
Right.
Fans would still be mad, though.
I mean, I have respect when a show is willing to kill off a main character, but yeah. I didn't expect it here.
Akudama Drive.
Don't spoil it.
Nobody survives.
Where was I going with this? Chris Guerrero and Z. Charles Bolton and Billy Comets. They were great. Actually, Billy Comets as well as sort of the guy who's starting to go paranoid.
Yep.
Like, you can start to see the madness of the other side start to creep into his voice. And then he's... Also, I love the whole thing with the train where, in order to get on it, they had to get Toriko's hand in just the right place at just the right time.
Yeah.
To grab onto, like, whatever it was that was holding the portal. You know, I also just really like the dynamic of how Sorao and Toriko's powers kind of mesh hand in hand.
Yeah, actually. It's a very nice touch.
Like, neither of them can completely do anything about the monsters unless they're together, because Soro is able to see the true form, but it's Toriko who has the ability to actually interact with it. Mm-hmm. So it... I'm gonna go off on another quick tangent here. There's like a one-off story arc that they sometimes do in like TV shows that I absolutely adore.
Yeah.
And it's something happens to one character and they break like a leg, and then another character at the same time, and they're like temporarily blinded. So they both have to use the ability that they have. Like, one can walk, one can see. And they both have to survive in a completely kind of stressful situation. Get to the end of, like, whatever you're doing. Like, one has to carry the other, and the other has to see for the other.
Okay.
Like, they did it in, like, a Star Trek episode, and it ended up being a trope in, like, a whole bunch of other ones. Like, I really love those, because it actually... Like, that kind of thing really deepens character dynamics, and I feel like that was kind of how they developed Sorao and Toriko. If I'm like, making any sense right now.
I get you
No, it is.
1000%.
No, 100%, yeah.
I'm thinking about that story where, like, the guy buys his girlfriend, like, a hair ribbon for Christmas, but, like, couldn't afford it, so he, like, sells something, and then...
He sells a pocket watch, and
Yeah.
then, like, the girl sells her hair for, like...
Yeah.
For, like, a some sort of watch winding thing. I don't know what they use.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. I get you. See, I may not know creepypastas, but I know dumb stories. Yeah.
We both know our dumb movie tropes.
And this is why you're both here.
Exactly.
No, I was here because I was promised a picnic, but whatever.
She's gonna be stuck
We
on
were
that
promised
for
lesbians,
forever now.
damn it.
I was promised lesbians and cheese, and I
And
didn't get
cheese.
either.
Oh, God.
There's some cheese, but not. You wanted actual cheese, not thematic cheese.
Oh, God.
Speaking of cheese.
Also, while we're kind of on the whole on the kind of sort of lesbian thing, like I really like Akari and Ichikawa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Ichikawa really just kind of had one episode, but then with the weird monkey and the old lady with the teeth.
Yeah, but that was their dynamic was so good.
Yes. I loved at the very end of the episode where it was just them repeating the pet names they had for each other. I mean, it's not the best Yuri, but it's something.
It was more.
It's very
It was
cute.
more. I loved that. I wish there were more.
Yeah, I'll rewatching this. I actually forgot that Ichikawa is only in one episode. I actually thought both of them were in a few more episodes than they are.
I was watching that when I was making dinner last night, so I was like in between the kitchen and the TV, like, is my water gonna boil, or can I watch more of this monkey teeth? Like, what can I do right now? But it was like, that was a good episode. So like, cheese, the Higurashi cheese level of Amelie's character is kind of what I wanted from everyone through the whole show. And I didn't get it, but I was.
Her character wasn't that cheesy, though.
I'm not saying like
she
super
went crazy.
cheesy. She went crazy.
Okay.
She went Higurashi crazy. Like,
Okay, yes.
Like,
that was fun.
like literally, that performance was great.
Okay,
And, like-
actually, while we're on the subject of that moment where she kind of went nuts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
did it feel like Sorao had anything to do with that? Like,
Oh, she 100% did.
Yeah.
okay.
100% had everything to do with
'Cause
that.
I felt like I missed something where she said, like, you have influence over it, and then she's able to beat it up.
So, the first time this whole thing popped up was during the Ninja Cat thing, where Sadao kind of accidentally put in, like, some sort of influence in Akari, and then, for shits and giggles, in the next episode, she's like, okay, this is how we're gonna do this, and then she basically put that influence back on her, and basically the eye power that she has from the other side, yes, is 100% the reason why that happened.
Okay. If we get
It's
a
not
season 2, I hope they kind of explain that a little better.
I'd say it's not explained very well, if at all, but yes, 100% Sadao and her magical, mystical eye powers had 100% something to do with what happened.
Okay.
Really?
'Cause I was
No, yeah,
very confused.
100%.
I thought it was just because they were, like, hot for each other. And she really wanted to impress her with her fly ninja skills.
Nope.
And then it got, like, bloody, violent, like, horror movie weird.
Nope.
Oh.
It's just other side stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Akari wants to impress everybody with her kung fu,
I, like...
not just the people she loves.
Well, I felt that, like... I don't know, and I wish this got explained more, but throughout the latter half of the show, they were all saying how Sorowo reminded them of the black-haired lady who they're looking for through the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, so maybe she actually is the black-haired lady, and she's, like, putting this influence, like, over everybody just with her, like, charisma, but it's, like, the deadpan charisma. I don't really know how to explain it.
I feel like you might be onto something still.
Like, I really think that they're connected somehow, or that they're possibly, like, each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a plot thread that never got resolved and won't. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed the little thing she had with the Ninja Cat girl. I'm sorry.
Oh, God,
So I haven't heard the new dub for Higurashi yet. I've only heard the old dub, and I'm the only person who fucking likes the old dubs. Come at me. Because Grant, what's his name, is in it, and I love
Grant
him.
George?
Yeah. So anyway,
Whiteout is pretty good, though, as, fuck's his name?
I'm sure he is. I just haven't seen it yet because I wanted to rewatch the whole series before I started the new one. And that never happened. So I still haven't seen it. Anyway, but I love the switch. Like, the crazy switch. Like,
that was good.
Like, you can see it visually, but it's so much better when you can hear it. And you can hear it in a language that you can understand without reading subtitles. Oh my God.
It's a very seamless transition that Amelie pulls off.
That was probably, like, my favorite part of the whole dub. Just to hear, like, the Higurashi switch. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen Higurashi, there are moments when, like, a very moe cute character will suddenly turn very maniacal or very violent or very, very manic. Mm-hmm. But I love that switch. And it's one thing to hear it in Japanese because if you're a sub listener, you're so conditioned to hear, like, this soft tone voice and then suddenly make it go, like, super crazy. Like, if you've played the first book of Twisted Wonderland, there's a moment where that happens and my blood ran cold. But this is different because it's in English and I didn't have to read the subtitles to understand it. Mm-hmm. So you get, like, that whole other sense of, holy shit, she's gonna murder somebody.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. It's very believable, and the switch to, like, calm, spunky Akari to freaking crazed Akari was, like, it was night and day, but it was very good night and day.
It was very good acting.
Yes.
It was a nice contrast between, like, the flatness of Sorowo, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, just like she's a very deadpan kind of low-toned character, you know, as opposed to what's going on in Akari's head. And I liked her girlfriend too. Like, that is a ship I can get behind.
That is 100% a ship I get
Were
behind.
they even dating? I don't care. They're dating in my head. Where's the fanfic?
They
Not to me, definitely wants to be dating, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I like, see, I think Amelie and Michelle do a really good job of really selling that relationship, even though they're on screen for an episode.
Right.
Like, they're really good at that.
So cute.
But it's memorable, and that's the most important part. Like there's so, like, in an anime where so many weird things happen, what is the most memorable thing that you can think of? And when you think of Amelie going crazy and monkey teeth, as opposed to like the giant midnight meat train with the army shooting at it. I mean,
see, for me, it's Ninja Cats.
and the tank. The Ninja Cat's also memorable.
Ninja Cats are a good one.
I don't know. Patrick, going back to what you were saying about the army guys, Billy Kometz, right, played the one that eventually died, correct?
Yes.
Correct. Yep.
Yes. I could hear like the nuances creeping up in his voice that were getting towards like the Akari levels of it, which I was like, yeah, he's not going to be too long for this world, or he's going to become a monster. Either way would have been all right with me. And then, God, I feel so bad because I spent the whole time thinking the guy in the helmet who had the really mismatched hair color when he took it off was Alejandro Saab sounding weird. And I was like, is that him? And I asked Chris, and I was like, is that him? That's not him. And he's like, I don't think so. And I was like, but it kind of sounds like him.
Like, the weird thing about Zach Bolton is he sounds very, very similar to a lot of different actors, but not completely.
Wait, that's Zach Bolton? Is he credited as something else?
Or
He's credited as Z Charles Bolton, but it's Zach Bolton.
Okay. I was a little confused.
yeah, I
Sorry.
think Z Charles Bolton is the name he uses when he's an actor, and then when he's a director, he uses
Zach Bolton.
Okay.
Something like
that
that.
makes a little more sense now.
As a side note, Zach Bolton, I miss you as a director. You're a fun director.
What did Zach Bolton direct?
Psychopaths, I believe.
Didn't
Death
watch it.
Parade.
Yeah, he did
Okay.
a bunch of the
He
really,
did a
really
bunch.
early simuldubs.
Yeah, he did.
I think I remember talking about him on something. I don't know.
You also would have talked about him as teenage Hawk in Yona of the Dawn.
Don't remember.
He was your favorite Hawk.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Shows you how much I remember Yona of the Dawn.
Steph, that was like 200 episodes ago. We can't be expected to remember
Look,
everything
I don't
we
know what
talked
happened
about.
yesterday.
Listen, it's been an interesting few years, all right?
We're old now.
We're old farts, God.
I have a mortgage.
Oh my god.
I have a cat.
I have a side hustle.
Oh, she's becoming a QVC hostess.
I am. I've decided that I think my passion through all of these podcast episodes was really to just be on the Weeb Shopping Network and sell you guys shit. Are you buying what I'm selling? No.
Hell yeah.
Back to the picnic and the army men, I guess. I probably should go back and watch this in Japanese because I think they were speaking English.
Yes.
Was it good
Yes,
English?
Anytime there was Japanese subtitles, they probably would have talked English.
I remember it being like, okay. It's not,
Was it Beck Mongolian Chop Squad English?
no, I'm thinking of, who's the douchebag from Evangelion? Like Misato's, like,
I don't know. I don't
pseudo-boyfriend.
watch
What's his-
that shit.
Oh, that
Getting
guy.
the robot Shinji. I'm so fucked up.
I'm thinking of the part from the beginning of the second Rebuild movie where it starts out passable and quickly descends into complete gibberish.
Okay.
It was better than that. It was like fine, like, as a native speaker, it did not sound very convincing. I'm sure it was perfectly fine if you're not used to hearing people talking English all the time. It was like, okay.
Which I'm surprised about because they have like, anime has brought in, like, expat actors. They're not great, but...
Well, that's a now I'm trying to remember, was it that it was just, like, just sort of, like, middling acting or middling, like, speaking? I don't remember anymore, unfortunately. I watched this when it was coming out, which is now, like, a year ago, I think, maybe more.
That was
Gotcha.
Yeah.
a while ago, yeah.
We're old.
Yeah. Yep.
Back to us being old.
Oh,
I don't know. I wish kind of like the directorial choice maybe would have been to have them speak in a different language. But that's just me being picky. Again, maybe they all could have had Canadian accents.
I mean, because the whole Japanese speaking English thing isn't an uncommon thing that anime will do. So it's hard when you translate that into English how you can make that work. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've seen it done before. Like, sometimes they talk in a southern accent. That seems to be a sometimes they have
I've
a little
never seen that
European
before.
accent. Oh, really? I've seen it all the time.
I've seen that as a replacement for like the Osaka accent.
Yes, the Osaka dialect is y'all.
That's why Osaka and Azumanga is from Texas.
Wow, that's a great joke.
Oh my
I've never
God.
seen Azumanga.
Me neither.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm being picky now because I want to make jokes.
I mean, jokes are fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very serviceable dub for a show that's very freaking weird. Yeah, I don't know, like, everything is fine. It's very serviceable. It's a fine dub. I think everybody did a really good job at everything that they did, and I like that it was a little bit different. I wanted it to be even more different.
From the sound of it, like, the dub is good to you. The show was just not in your wheelhouse, like, at all.
Oh no, I hated this. I didn't hate it as much as that other show I hated.
Which one was that?
Cells at Work. I really hated Cells at Work.
God.
Oh,
That was a doozy.
What was that other
that's
show
not
I
a Gigi
hated?
show at all.
Yeah, I don't know why I was on that episode. I think I got asked to be on it. I can't
Yeah,
turn
you
down
were.
anybody that asks me for anything.
You were. Can I just make a note of because we've talked about like performances, we've talked about directing a tiny bit. Can we just say that the script, even though it had a little bit of like constraints with like some story and stuff like that, it did have some fun little one-liners in there.
Oh,
Did
like,
it?
in terms of script writing, like, this was actually kind of pitch perfect for, like, a horror semi-comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, there was I only wrote a couple fun notable lines down, but there was a hand check moment. At
Oh,
one point.
okay. I do remember that.
There was a hand check moment. There was, in the Ninja Cats episode, someone exclaimed, I think it was Sarao, what the catnip? Like, there were some fun little one-liner moments that were just so enjoyable and kind of helped bring some of the more absurdism into the show. Like, when it gets, like, really super serious and, like, really, really super scary, like the whole Pale Horse Battalion thing and all that fun stuff, it doesn't put in too many, like, jokes or one-liners in there. But with Ninja Cats, for instance, exclaiming what the catnip fits wonderfully with the absurdity that is Ninja Cats. And I was just, I really did enjoy some of those one-liners that Leah and Maddie threw in there. It was great.
Can you guys tell that Steph has a cat? She's the crazy cat lady now who laughs at the cat jokes.
Listen,
Look,
even if I didn't have a cat, I would still laugh at the cat jokes, Gigi. Let's be real.
I mean, I've laughed over Meowabunga. Let's not
Okay.
split hairs here.
What to say? No, it
It's
does
it's
tend to have
good.
some fun one-liners. It was great. I loved
You know,
it.
I'm glad it wasn't as static as it could have been.
Right.
No, I think they had a good sense of where they could punch up without having
Right.
it conflict with the, you're in like, the sort of the military conflict stuff. Like, that's not quite the place for it. But it's like, oh, this is a comedy episode.
It's like, oh, this is very absurd.
Or even just like, I just like the bit where like they're on the beach in the other side and Toriko's trying to think of something to do and she just keeps listing things off and Soro's like, we don't have any of that.
It's like, nope.
We can't do any of those things.
And then
What are you
Soro's just
talking
like,
about?
hey, how about we shoot guns? It's like, okay. That's
I
perfect to
think
do on a beach.
I think the good part of when they sort of deviated in the script writing is, like, they use it to break moments of tension,
Yes.
but they're also very strategic with it.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed it a lot more when it was just Soro and Toriko together.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of it was also Kozakura as well. Like, it feels like Kozakura's entire purpose for being in the show was basically to be the punching bag for Soro and Toriko.
Man, one of my favorite moments of this show is the one where they're all supposed to be going to barbecue and she runs right into that elevator
Yep.
and is so excited and it's like, oops. Sorry.
It's like, you're here now.
Well, you're on. Well, you're here.
Well,
so
we gotta push the buttons. We gotta go.
push.
We gotta go in
find
place
Agony.
you don't like. You could have not come into
You
the
could have just
elevator with us.
stayed. You could have just stayed out there. And meet up with us
What?
later.
What was that? Oh, there's a monster on the 5th floor. We don't know what it is. It tries to get in, and we haven't let it get in. Why do you keep doing this?
Oh my god, I just had the realization Kozakura's the Squidward of the group.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Soro and Toriko continue to drag her into situations she doesn't like.
Oh my
She ends up
God.
in the better forum, but at the same time she is absolutely miserable about it.
Oh my god.
And in the end,
I
she can't
hate
get
it.
rid of Soro and Toriko because she actually, somewhere deep down, likes them.
I hate you for this, because you're right. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
When cinematic parallels get weird.
Man, I bring up El Topo. This bitch brings up Squidward and
You
he's
were
in
the one who brought
SpongeBob
up El
SquarePants,
Topo.
right?
That's
Yes.
bringing up El Topo is a Patrick thing.
Everything's topsy-turvy on the Otherside Picnic episode.
I did go to film school for a whole year.
Just another day
You
in
were
the
also
office,
the one
ladies
who
and
brought
gentlemen.
up Divine eating dog shit.
Again, I went to film school for
That's
a
a
whole
Patrick
year.
thing.
There's a reason I dropped out.
I was going
it
to go to
Divine
film
eating
school,
dog
and then my
shit?
brother
It was
went to
dog
film
shit.
school.
Oh my god.
I mean, they showed us fucking Assault on Precinct 13 in like a film history class. Not the old one, the remake.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh
Maybe it was aesthetics. I can't remember.
Why?
I knew I wasn't meant to be in film school when I literally fell asleep through every single movie I had to watch in every single class, except for The Bicycle Thief, which is like the most boring movie ever made. And I was like riveted. I was like, is that bitch gonna get his bike back? Is he gonna get his bike back? It's in fucking Italian. And I'm like, oh, buongiorno, gonna get the bike back?
Oh my god.
Spoiler, doesn't it end like fucking Otherside Picnic where we don't know if he gets his fucking bike
I
back?
think you're correct.
We don't know if the lesbians are ever gonna kiss. Look, guys, I just connected The Bicycle Thief to Otherside Picnic.
Fucking quit.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, I want my bike back, bitch.
I'm going home.
sucks to be you. I work from home and live from home. I never leave my home.
Oh God.
Oh God.
That's a lonely existence, Gigi.
I live on a lonely island. Me and Andy Samberg.
I'm on a boat.
Jason Bowie's motherfucker.
I'm a fluffy fluffies.
There's a dolphin. Oh yeah, on a motherfucking boat.
Breathe anymore. Fuck. Oh God.
I'm ready to talk about final thoughts.
Can I just
Before just go ahead, Steph.
as I'm trying to catch my breath, can I just say, because can we just take a minute to really talk more about Maddie and Emily? Because these two are the crux of the show.
Yes.
They are like the ones that carry the show. And they have to have like a really solid dynamic as well with each other. Because if you don't have that solid dynamic, that ship ain't going anywhere. It ain't sailing nowhere in this weird, creepy pasta world. And personally, I actually really love the dynamic. Because you have Maddie's Sadao, who is... I would like to think she's a bit more grounded, even a bit more grounded in reality to an extent, but also is very self-aware of herself, and she kind of puts herself down. She's not that very confident, at least starting out. And then you have Emily Storiko, who is kind of bright, bubbly, very fun-loving. And she's like, yeah, let's go. We gotta go. We're gonna go to the other side. We're gonna go find Satsuki, even though we will never fucking see her. And it's a fun, interesting dynamic, because you have Toriko and Emily Neves, who brings out the confidence and fun-loving side of Madeline Morris's Sadao. And Sadao also helps keep Toriko and Emily Neve's portrayal of her a bit more grounded in reality on occasion, because Toriko will just go wandering off la-di-da-di-da and just get her ass into trouble half the time without Sadao being there. I really like the dynamic between Madeline Morris and Emily Neves. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I think they did carry the show rather well, especially with them being the two consistent characters throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
No, they're a great double act. Like, they play off each other so well.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't talked about Emily as much, and I want to give her credit for just... I completely understand why Sorao especially in the beginning, just continues to agree to go on these excursions with Toriko, even though she clearly doesn't want to be here.
Right.
She's so good at making Toriko feel just, like, fun and welcoming and just, like, the exact kind of person that Sorao probably needs in her life, given that she seems to have... Oh, this actually isn't in the... I can't remember if this is in the anime, but in the book, when they're... Basically, it opens with her, like, lying in the water.
Yeah.
And she actually has a whole bit where she thinks about, who will notice that I'm dead if I die here?
Yeah, that was in the
in the
anime.
first
Yeah,
episode.
like I guess the loan office will notice when I stop paying things. Huh. And like it's like they're like you're saying, to also loop in what Patrick was telling earlier about how they, like, you know, their powers complement each other. Like, their personalities do that as well.
Absolutely.
I think Madeline and Emily they do a really good job of making these two feel like, yeah, this is a good double pair. Like, these two feel made for going on stupid, possibly fatal.
And honestly, the both of them just kind of feel fucked in a way that complement each other really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you also have the backstory Sorao presented, where, like, I can't remember if her parents were arrested as part of a cult, or if they were in, like, some sort of group suicide event. My recollection is it just established, like, there was a fire in the mountains and they're dead, and it's not. I don't think it's quite established whether it was, like, suicide, accident, what have you, but. That's pretty fucked up. Yeah.
I would watch that anime. It sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Kind of does, weirdly enough.
And I also... Coming
from Mappa Films, Heaven's Gate, the anime.
Yeah, and I like that Emily Neves sort of gave off that really nice, warm, welcoming energy. And let's be real, the only straight thing about Sororo is her role in the show, which is straight man.
Yeah.
Oh, I peaked real bad.
It's true.
Like, especially toward, like, the last couple of episodes. Girl, you gay.
Girl, you gay. Who you kidding? Bitch, you gay.
There's that I rewatched the second episode in preparation for this today, and there's that bit where, like, Lady Hakusho's fooling you, and it's like, well, she used that guy's love of his wife to fool her. I don't like anyone enough for that to happen to me, and it's like...
And it's
lady.
fucking Toriko that she uses.
Lady. Like, my dude.
Soto, my dude.
My dude.
My dude.
Like, I get it. You feel very isolated. You probably feel like, you know, just that kind of relationship is beyond you now, but come now.
Oh, lordy.
Come now.
It's great.
For all this shit that I'm giving this anime for not being Yuri enough, like, at least they didn't, like, make some weird deal out of their leads being lesbians, like a lot of BL does, or a lot of, you know, other things do, like, oh no, am I gay? Am I actually gay? No, they just go for it, which is something I really loved about Kaze-san and Morning Glories too, which is like they don't shy away from it. Unfortunately, it's like I said, where's the Yuri in this show? But at least they try. That's the show's fault, though. That's not the dub's fault. I'm sure it's the slow burn shit that I hate.
I'm about to say, it feels to me like they're trying to do it as like a slow build for an actual romance, rather than the instant trash fire that you usually love.
Which is fine.
It's fine,
but
yeah.
Like I said, I'm glad that it didn't shy away from it or be like, oh no, it's bad to be a lesbian. Like, I can't like girls. Oh no. I'm glad they did not do that. Like that.
That would have probably.
That was a good point
hurt
in
it.
the writing.
Yeah, I like the horror stuff in this, but I feel like if it went that route, it'd been like,
Yeah.
This is like the reason I often don't watch a lot of Yuri shows, and that's because I get the feeling a lot of them go that route enough that it's like,
Yeah.
right, whatever.
So some of the older ones definitely do that. A lot of the newer ones, like, I haven't seen Kasai-san, but Kasai-san is a really good example of how well it is. And then on a similar note, in terms of realistic LGBT romances, Stranger by the Shore is another really good example of like actual natural like romance for you know what I mean? That's a
like,
very good example of that too.
Like, I'm gonna be real, a lot of Yuri just kind of descends into that sort of squicky fetishy territory, and it's just
It does that quite often, but nowadays
'cause,
you
like,
get the occasional good ones like this.
Yeah, like, my
don't
first
have to go
exposure to Yuri was Sakura Trick, and
Oh boy. I dropped that.
I didn't watch that.
I dropped that after a couple episodes, honestly.
Like, the camera goes in very skeevy places.
Yeah. Yeah. It was cute at
Like,
first.
yeah,
and
it's
then
cute
it got
at times,
weird.
but then it's like,
Then it's
yeah,
like,
they are
no.
definitely like,
This just got weird and then it got cute.
and then it got weird again.
Basically. And then it got weird again.
Does
Where's
it-
that camera going?
Does it getting weird and then getting cute? Is that in of itself getting weird?
A
Yeah,
little?
probably.
Yes.
Probably. Again, I dropped it after a couple episodes.
Honestly, I feel like if this were like a 24 episode show, which continued a little further and like developed the relationship of Toriko and
Yeah.
Sororo, like that would have been. Oh, where was I going? What's it?
It would have had more time to develop. The
Yeah, if it
relationship.
like if it had like actual time to develop sort of that that relationship that seems to be starting to blossom in the very last, like,
Yeah.
episode or two. Like, that would have been nice, but, like, I feel like where they are in terms of where the show ended with it, like, it felt natural, I guess?
Yeah. For a very unnatural show as this.
Well, and that's where it needed to be
Exactly.
tonal wise.
Tonal wise, absolutely.
Instead, it would have been just like really unbelievable and weird.
Yeah.
Not weird in the other side. Weird and I don't want to be here.
Weird in the squicky way.
Yeah.
Weird in the
Wow,
Sakura
I haven't heard
way.
that word in forever.
Weird.
God, I'm getting a lot of flashbacks now.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But bottom line, I love the dynamic that Madeline Morris and Emily Nees have.
Absolutely.
You always need to have like the low-toned kind of serious deadpan glasses coon with the bubbly I'm here cheerleader blonde girl.
Yeah.
It's a
Very
good
cute.
dynamic and their voices matched it, which again was why I was so shocked when I heard that it was Madeline Morris out of Sorrow, because I'm not used to hearing her like that. So
I'm down for Maddie using her natural voice more often, I'll say that much.
big girl
Absolutely.
Maddie, let's go.
Actually,
Come on,
Gigi,
come on, Funimation, find some roles.
you brought up a really interesting point there that I kind of want to wrap my stuff up with. One thing I really liked about Emily Neves is Toriko. She plays Toriko as kind of ditzy, but she is absolutely not stupid at all.
Oh no, Toriko
Like-
is not an idiot.
Toriko
me.
is very world smart when it comes to the other world. Like, she knows enough to keep herself alive. She's been there at least a handful of times before she meets
Yeah.
Sorrow. And, like, yeah, she has a nice bubbly personality, but at the same time, like, she's not sort of the damsel in distress that has to be rescued all the damn time.
Oh no, if anything,
No.
she rescues
Nope.
Sorao quite a bit. Like Toriko doesn't have the most amount of common sense about things, which is fine. Sorao has more common sense than Toriko does.
But she
But
has the
no.
survival instincts.
Right. She knows how to take care of herself.
Yeah.
100% she does. And I like it.
Yeah. Let me. Did anyone want to mention anything about Christopher Wakeham's character?
Oh,
Oh
shit.
my god, we forgot.
Hi, Daddy.
Chris.
You know, sort of like Billy Comets. I actually love the fact that you can actually, like, over the course of his episode, feel the madness creep in.
Oh yeah, because it's not just Sora. We first think it's Toriko and Abarato who are falling for Lady Hashiku's in like craziness and malarkey, but we learn it's like we mentioned before, it's actually Sarao and not Toriko. But by the time Sarao gets snapped out of it by Toriko, Abarato's just like done.
Yeah, he's already
gone
gone.
by that point. He's gone. He's a lost cause.
Like, didn't he already get sucked into the, like, the weird creature
believe
portal?
I believe so. Yeah.
By that point, I think so. I think we saw it when Sadao was under Lady Hashiku's influence, I believe. But then when she got snapped out of it, he was already gone. So I could be misremembering. It's been a minute since I
No,
watched that episode too.
I believe that's what happens
Yeah.
because part of the reason Sorrow is more distressed is because she's worried it's going to happen to Toriko, even though that's not how it's going to play out, man.
Yup.
Yep.
Whoops.
Oops.
Oops.
I'm sorry, Sorrow. Your lesbianism was used against you. It's very tragic. I apologize.
Whoops. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I agree. Chris is good here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one-off character.
Yeah.
Is there anything that Chris is not good in?
I'm sure he's been in the dub for just a real garbage show that didn't give him anything to work with, where he's technically not
And,
great.
you know,
But,
he
like,
also
aside
had
from
to
that,
kind
probably
of
not.
start somewhere, and he was probably kind of rough as he was
Also
learning the
true.
process,
Yeah.
so...
Also true.
So in that like, no one's first role is their best work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now though, like, I certainly haven't heard a bad Christopher Blake camp role.
I mean,
Exactly.
we literally just
100%.
talked about
Probably.
it 2 days ago in Redacted.
Yeah.
So much redacted. Ow!
Are we still doing that? Why are we redacting?
Because I literally
I don't
just
know, this
recorded
definitely
it
is-
two
Just
days
say
ago,
it.
and I don't know
Let's
what
be
order they're getting
real.
released in.
Well,
I find it likely you'll probably be done first.
All right, it's Sunny Boy.
about to say, I feel
Yeah.
like Sunny Boy will be out before this is. Let's be real. It's Sunny Boy. Ow! He has to play a dog.
He's a dog.
He's a talking
He's a
dog.
big fluffy dog.
Big fluffy-
I love dogs. Doggo.
All right,
Doggo
all right,
daddy.
Ray Mustang. All right.
Doggo daddy.
Doggo daddy. Oh no. Doggo daddy.
Like, Gigi, I don't
I'm not
know if you
allowed
would
to
like
talk
Sunny
anymore.
Boy, but you would like
love
the
you.
episode
Please
Chris
talk
Waycamp is
more.
kind of the lead-in.
I watched like 5 minutes of it and I was like, I can't watch this art style, so I'm gonna not watch it
Gotcha.
anymore.
It's a bit of a trip. It is a bit of a trip.
It's like ping pong. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't care how good it is. I just can't force myself to watch it.
That's fair.
Kurai Shingo Natsume.
Oh.
So yeah, sorry, Chris, he did good.
All right, guys. I'm kind of hungry. Does
Oh yeah. No,
does anybody have any other picnic tips?
Yeah.
We need some beer.
Are there any other individual roles anyone would like to talk a little more about?
I don't think so.
I think we've more or less covered it, because anything else is like bit parts that have like only like a minute or two of screen time.
I have a note. Michelle Lee go rar.
All right.
That's the extent
All right.
of it.
I mean, there you go. Creature
Apparently,
noises
this
were
is why
good.
Steph
Everybody
gets
who-
all the Patreon money.
Everybody who did a
Michelle
creature noise in
Lee,
that show,
go
you get a
rar.
thumbs up.
Yes.
Yep.
Rar.
right.
$30 to everyone who made a noise. $30 an hour.
All right.
Secure that bag.
In that case, let us go to final thoughts. And Steph, why don't you start us off?
Okay. Sure. Sure. Oh man, this is a weird format we're doing. I'm new to this. I have not done retro episodes yet, so this is weird to me. I love this. I do like this. It has so much more fun conversation. And it's great for a smaller cast like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so much easier. Anyway, Otherside Picnic. Aside from there being portions of the actual story where it's a little bit difficult to figure out what the show is intending on doing and where it wants to go, I think that's the one flaw of the show itself. But the dub, I think, is rather solid. I think it's nicely directed. I love the writing I think the writing is great. I love some of the fun one-liners that add to the absurdity that the show can have sometimes. And the casting is great, primarily with Madeline Morris and Emily Neves, because they have to carry the whole show on their backs, in their little backpacks through the other side. You know what I mean? And they do really, really well, and they have a fun dynamic with each other. It's a solid dub. You're either I feel like it's gonna be one of those where you either love it or hate it, because either the story can get a little bit odd in places, not knowing where it wants to go, or you could be like Gigi. And you could be like Gigi and be like, not enough Yuri.
That's right.
Everybody has a personal preference, and this is not among Gigi's personal preferences, which is fine. It's not a bad thing at all. But if you're into fun little urban legends and creepypastas and things like that, with a little splash of Yuri in there, just a tiny splash of Yuri in there, you're gonna get enjoyment out of this, and I think the dub does very well with it. So I say give it a watch. Maybe at least the first few episodes to see if it is your cup of tea, because sometimes horror is not everybody's cup of tea, unlike me and Amon and Patrick.
Hi.
And sometimes Gigi, because Higurashi. But yeah.
Who wants to go next?
So the show is first and foremost is right up my wheelhouse. I really enjoy sort of those creative little 5 or 6 paragraph horror stories where things really don't end well for the poster, and they have like the little creepy image. Like this feels like a couple of those put together, which is absolutely great. The dub's really solidly put together. This, I think, is not only one of the first Studio Nano dubs I'm talking about on the show, it's actually one of the first I've actually had time to sit down and watch end to end. So, you guys did really solid work. Bang up job. Everybody sounds great. Tone was balanced really well. Scripts were loose enough that it felt natural, but at the same time adhered to what was being portrayed on screen. This kind of thing may not be everybody's jam, but if you sometimes go on to like the weird parts of Reddit, like this might actually be for you.
Yeah, do you hang out on r/nosleep a lot? Then you really, I don't know why you haven't watched this already. You'll love this shit.
I'm potentially realizing, is this actually the first Studio Nano dub we've actually ever talked about on this show? I'm looking.
What else they do?
Because they have Gekidol, Hortanisia Saga.
Yeah, have we done a Kaguya-sama
We have
episode?
not.
No, because
I think
Andrew was
this is
This is
waiting
the
for
first time
season
we're actually
1.
talking about Studio Nano. Yeah, they also have done Ikebukuro Westgate Park, the recent show by Rock, the new Higurashi series, and then Mongetsu Warheights, which that one's a weird one. As an FYI, I watched that one. But no, this is actually the first time we're talking about Studio Nano, I think.
Dang,
Long overdue.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Patrick, do you have anything you want to
Oh
add?
yeah, I was waiting for Gigi to come in.
Oh. Were you
Yeah,
done?
yeah, I'm all set. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm trying to compose myself and thoughts. Because I really want to go on a picnic now. Like, I feel...
I'll go with
like
you.
The whole picnic aspect
I will fly down to Texas and we'll go on a picnic together. How's that?
Will you? It's
Yeah.
cold here. It's like 20 degrees today.
Ooh.
Do you want to come up here? It's like 55 for me.
Nah, I'm good.
It's not.
Your picnic would taste like Boston clam chowder or something.
I
and I'm
live
not
in
about that.
Connecticut, bitch.
What do they got there? More fish?
Nutmeg.
pizza that's in the
nutmeg
shape of a
state.
square.
Don't you live like by a wharf or something? Am I making this up?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm an hour from New York City. Let's go to the fucking city, bitch.
Okay,
we'll have a
we can have
picnic in New York
cheesecake.
City.
We'll go to Junior's.
There we go.
Except I hate cheesecake, but that's okay. They also have a chocolate cake because I've been to Junior's. That was my chef's kiss. It was like a kiss with a little bit of squeak in
I
there.
only had juniors once. It was fucking busy as shit when I went, though. Holy
Oh
hell.
man. It was like when I went to Junior's, it was like while a Broadway show was going on, so it was pretty like calm because everybody was in the shows.
Oh, I went before a Broadway show, before like the
Oh,
evening
no.
shows. So that's when you know I was fucked.
Oh yeah, no. We were waiting for Daniel Radcliffe to come out so we could stage door him at Equus.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And we got pictures with him too.
I hate you.
Nice.
I'll have to find them. They're on my Facebook.
What?
Anyway,
You've lived a very charmed life, Gigi. I hope
you know,
that.
we had to play Two Truths and a Lie the other day, and everybody was like, "You've done a lot of shit." And I'm like, "Sure have." Anyway, so picnics aside, I won't fault the dub for anything that the anime lacks for me, which is number one, the anime is fucking weird. Number two, there's not enough Yuri in it. I was promised a Yuri and a picnic, but besides the picnic, I keep like I'm holding a can so you can like hear me tapping on it, like I'm using it as an exclamation for everything that I say. Hold my beer, I guess.
She's having a hold my beer moment.
It's a Diet Pepsi, but whatever.
Hold my Pepsi.
Hold my Pepsi, fam. I can't fault the dub. The dub is a solid dub. It plays with things that I'm not necessarily used to with these actors that I have heard in typecasted ways, which is a good thing because it gives me a point of contrast, but it's also a weird thing which kind of matches the tone of the show, which is all right. It's a solid dub. Everybody did a good job. Now I want to hear a little bit of Canadian accent, and I'm kind of sad that didn't happen. Maybe it did and I wasn't paying attention, but I definitely heard Longa say sorry.
No.
And Skate the Infinity.
Oh, no, he did. Emily, release.
Coming soon.
Emily, bring us the unreleased Canadian track.
Can you please bring us the Canadian dub of Otherside Picnic?
God damn it.
No, it was fine. The dub was good. It was serviceable for a show that I didn't really care for and just wanted to make jokes about. Amelie was really good in this. Like, I really kind of... Is she in Higurashi?
No.
Oh, damn. I would have liked to have been able to hear her go even more off the rails, if that would be even possible.
You do at least have Michelle Rojas in Higurashi. She plays the twins, Shion and Mion.
Ooh, shit.
Yep. So you at least have Michelle Rojas.
Well, that's going to be a good time whenever I get around to watching it.
Oh, it is.
But I am glad that I watched this because it took me out of my comfort zone. Y'all, sometimes you got to go out of your comfort zone. But to me, like, Yuri is a comfort zone. But like this weird shit with the giant eyeball, I screamed out loud.
Oh my God.
In the bed. And
Were you
Chris
watching
might have been
this
asleep
at night
at the
in the
time.
dark?
Yeah.
That explains it.
Oh,
I was
no.
watching it at night in the dark. I was watching it in the kitchen making dinner. I was watching it 5 minutes before we recorded this episode.
Oh, shit.
Lots of places I was watching Otherside Picnic. But it's a good dub. I'm not going to fault it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't care for the anime. It's all good. Sometimes that shit happens. And
It's not
yeah,
your typical cup of tea, but that's fine.
No, I wish I had some tea right now. I could be fancy instead of drinking a Diet Coke out of a straw, but whatever.
Listen, come up here. We're gonna go to New York. We'll find ourselves some nice bars to go to for some nice.
Can we
fancy
go
drinks.
to tea?
Yes, let's go to tea, love.
Let's go to high tea. Oh my god, here's my British accent. It sounds cockney now, but
That's
whatever.
definitely Cockney. Holy shit.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That's
Please,
not
Amon, take us home. Get us out of here.
We have fun here.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this dub. This is very much a show that is absolutely up my alley. I had a lot of fun watching it. I think this dub's like really strong and really well put together. I think the cast is great across the board. Everyone's really fun to listen to. I never have any good sense of how well any of these shows are actually doing, so I don't know if a season 2 is in the cards at all. I hope there is. I feel like it's gonna go in some interesting places, and I'd really like to hear this cast come back again and play these characters again. And unless anyone else has anything to add,
Nope.
I think we're good.
If you would like to watch this, it is currently streaming on Funimation. The Blu-ray is coming out in March. I want to say like March 22nd or something like that.
Oh, so this episode
Did
might
it
be
get
out by
limited?
time for that, actually.
Yeah, actually, like you depending on how fast the turnaround this is, you may in fact be able to go pre-order it and get it in a couple of weeks, basically. So that's fun.
Did it get a limited, or is it just a
think it's
regular?
just
No,
regular.
just a regular.
All right, then, like, nobody watched this. But at least it's not sub-only. I'm looking at you, Hypnosis Microphone.
Pour one out
We
for the
won't
real
go there,
one.
except I just did.
I was actually looking forward to a hype mic dub.
Oh my god, could you imagine? It would just be me on the floor screaming and crying the entire time.
You would be just
I screamed and cried during the sub. You should have seen me watch the first episode 6 times. I'm sorry. Please end the episode.
It's okay.
We love you.
I'm pouring one out for
yes.
you, Gigi.
Thank you.
Funimation streaming, Blu-ray in about a month. Check it out. You can check us out on our YouTube page, which is a likely place you're listening to this right now. We are also on various podcatchers, and so we're on Podbean officially, and that propagates to various other podcast places, so go check us out there too. Leave us a review or something, we'd appreciate it. And we also have a Patreon. We're also on like Twitter and stuff. Are we really on anything other than Twitter at this point? I feel like we always list these websites we don't actually
I mean,
use.
we
Twitter
still
and
talk
Twitch are
about
the only two.
we still talk about Tumblr, but it's dead.
As a way to make a joke about how it's a wasteland no one enjoys.
Primarily Twitter and Twitch nowadays.
Yep. We have a Twitter. We have a Twitch channel where people stream video games and shit. I think everyone here except Gigi does something.
Gigi
regularity.
pops up on occasion.
Yeah, so go check that out and look at our schedule and what's coming up. And we have a Patreon where you can help give us money to help make this show. Very kind of you if you do. And if you give us enough money, we'll shout you out on the episode. For example, shout out to our $5 tier. Julia W., Megan's mom and dad, Michelle Travis, Nico Robin, but with yowie hands, Sue Tweet, and Victor Mabaroda. And also, thank you to our $10 tier, Anthony Brown, Carly Lesticow, Crimson Echidna, Jacob Wilson, Jared Hawkins, Marissa Lenti, and Otaku Anthony. Thank you. We appreciate that you monetarily support us.
Thanks, fam.
Humans, where can we find you on the internet?
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Patrick, aka Roots of Justice. You can find me on the twitter.com at Roots of Justice. I mainly retweet cute animal pics, talk general fandom. It's a good time. You should come visit. Say hi. I'm actually I have something for the blog mostly together. Hopefully it'll be posted at some point. I keep saying this. I sometimes have things that are basically ready to go, and then I'm just like, and then don't do it. But hopefully this is the one that sticks. I'm also kind of in the process of starting to script some stuff out for some solo projects. So, maybe stay tuned for that. It's another one of those possibly kind of things, but we'll see.
Hello, my name is Stephanie. Sometimes people call me Lilac. You can follow me on Twitter at Lilac Anime Review, with review being spelled R-E-V-U-E. I have a blog, lifeandtimesoftalk.wordpress.com, that has been gathering dust, and I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with it. And speaking of the Twitch channel, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, my laptop will have been fixed. Because me and Andrew actually are currently on a streaming break because the screen of my computer decided to shit the bed in the middle of a stream a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
And my computer is currently getting fixed. But once it is fixed, you can come hang out with me Sunday afternoons while I play Animal Crossing, and then you can also join me Sunday evenings, where probably by the time this episode comes out, hopefully we'll have finally finished I Have a Somnium Files, and we'll have moved on to another fun random game. So, but yeah, come hang out. We have a fun time here.
Oh, by the way, I forgot my Patrick's cool thing of the day, but we'll go ahead and let Amon get to his Dusty song once he does his thing, and then I'll do that. So.
Well, you got Gigi too.
Right.
Yeah, and Gigi.
I don't have a Dusty song.
No, just tell us where to find you on the internet.
You have a new thing too, by the way.
I do have a new thing. You can find me at my normal hangouts on Twitter and YouTube at Animepalooza, but you can also find me on Pop Shop Live, where every 2 weeks I'm selling all my stuff because I'm poor, but I'm keeping some of it because I love it. But I also would love for you to come and hang out with me as we live stream, and you can buy something very cool or cute. And I give away stuff.
Again, she's adding QVC host onto her resume now.
I am. So if you want to sign up for Pop Shop Live, you can download the app and use the code GIGI22. That's GIGI22. And it would really help me out. And I would love to see you on my streams there, which mostly are going to be every 2 weeks on Sundays. But check my Twitter, or you can check my Pop Shop page, which is also at Animepalooza, for when I do that.
Yeah.
But coming out, we play games and we have a lot of fun. And last time we played this wonderful game where let's see how many clear files are going to fall off my wall, and then none of them did. And then the next morning, 7 clear files fell off my wall.
Man.
Yeah, so it's a good time. We have a good time. Come say hi to me.
Yeah.
I love friends.
Friends are nice.
And you can find me on Twitter at AmonDuelUS. Duel has 2 U's in it. I talk about comics and bullshit mostly. I also talk about music. And I have a dusty old song for you. Actually, technically for this one, I have a whole album to recommend.
Yeah, buddy.
Because it felt. Who here watches JoJo's?
Yes.
I watched JoJo.
Do you even have to ask?
You may recall that the ending to JoJo's Part 4 was "I Want You" by Savage Garden.
I love that song.
Right. Darren Hayes, the singer from Savage Garden, has a solo career. I'm not super familiar with it, but I am familiar with, I think it's like his 4th album, This Delicate Thing We Made. It's great. Highly recommend it. The track I'm going to single out is one called Waking the Monster, which, from what I can tell from the lyrics, is basically... It's sung from the point of view of the assistant to a mad scientist who is angry, and the mad scientist keeps obsessing over this monster he's made and not focusing on the important things, i.e. the assistant, who would really wish he would actually, commit to their relationship or something.
That sounds amazing.
Nice.
I'm Spotifying this right now.
It's great. I highly recommend it. Patrick, you have a cool thing,
okay,
right? Wait, hold on. Before I go, sorry. If you want to check out the light novel, as I said, J-Novel is putting that out. I believe there's also a manga adaptation that I think they might be putting out. It's either them or Seven Seas. And if you are interested in this show but find the whole, I don't know anything about these, where can I go to learn about that? We brought it up earlier, but I would recommend the site Kawabana. It is a website and YouTube channel run by a woman named Tara Devlin. She talks about this, and I think the fun part, of course, is that she knows Japanese, so what you read on there are her translations of the actual stories.
Oh, okay.
Including, she does, a podcast where she'll, translate them and, read them out loud, basically.
Nice.
Certainly while I was prepping for this, I found her a deeply invaluable resource. There's all sorts of stuff that I learned about, basically, because she's the one who's writing it up on the internet in the English-speaking sphere. So, check her out. She does good stuff. And now, Patrick, go
ahead. So, at the end of every episode, I'd like to do a thing where I kind of introduce a cool thing that I find interesting. I happen to have 2 today because they are relevant to the topic at hand. One is a YouTube channel, and the other is a light novel.
Okay.
First and foremost, I would like to recommend the YouTube channel known as Kane Pixels.
Okay.
He's putting out a fantastic little creepypasta found footage horror little anthology called The Backrooms.
Okay.
Based on sort of an old 4chan thread about, it's this endless cycle of, office cubicle space, kind of. Endless rooms in a maze shape. And it's just, really nasty orange, really nasty yellow walls. The floor is kind of damp, and, oh yeah, there are, fungus monsters that'll, kill you.
I believe the joke of the original post is that this office space is where you end up if you no-clip through the wall of reality.
Yes. It's a really fascinating little kind of anthology this guy's doing, because it's basically, starts out with this video in, 1996 with a guy trying to make a really kind of low-budget horror film who just kind of slips and falls into this place, and he's desperately trying to get out. And then there's this whole corporation conspiracy that gets delved into with later videos. It's great. And it really kind of builds a sense of dread about this place. The other thing I want to bring up is a light novel that was put out by Seven Seas about 2 years ago. There's only 1 volume out. I think it's complete, but I'm not sure. It's based on another, internet kind of creepypasta forum known as the SCP Foundation. I think it was actually referenced in another episode by Amon. The novel is...
Might have been.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd say.
The novel is called Iris Through the Looking Glass. It's about a girl who can interact with the world through photographs she takes out of an old Polaroid camera.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And,
sounds like my
and
kind of
just
thing.
a random like they the SCP Foundation has what's called D-class personnel who are just basically like criminals and just people that can be easily made to disappear, who are just like the grunts. And the joke is D-class stands for disposable, but anyway, it's about one of those, and he's interacting with this girl, and she's involved in a bunch of shit. And it's... I don't want to spoil too much, but it's... like the actual... Actually, you know, I could also suggest the SCP Foundation in general. It's a wiki of a bunch of, like, little short creepypasta stories told in, like, a scientific documentation format that are, like, really... They get really interesting and out there, so I don't want to take too much time, though. I could talk about it, like, all night. I could do, like, an entire podcast on that if I really wanted to.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah, Iris Through the Looking Glass is the book. It's available through 7 Seas. You can get it on, like, Right Stuff and Amazon. Probably also available on, like, digital book formats, so... keep an eye out for it.
Cool.
So you're telling me it's not an Alice in Wonderland retelling?
Maybe there's allegory of the story?
If she's not in a little pinafore dress, I don't care.
No, she's not.
Also, they have tea. No tea?
Maybe tea. I don't know.
No tea, no shade?
Maybe some shade.
Okay, cool.
And with that, thank you for listening to the episode. Y'all have a wonderful week. Rock over Boston, rock on Chicago.
Otaku on that
I'm gonna go get my bike back. Love your faces.
Just don't eat dog shit along the way.
No. Don't watch that movie.
Have
And
a good night, everybody.
don't get reincarnated as your own child. That's an El Topo reference.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, y'all.